Hello, this is Hayden Land. Today I'm going to be talking about global threat vectors, preparedness, and response. As a matter of background, I have 35 years predominantly in aerospace and defense with some commercial. I've worked on a broad spectrum of government and regulated industry needs within multiple technology spaces, including cloud computing, cyber, mobility, big data, and others, with heavy focus on the warfighter domains, air, land, sea, space, as well as cyber, and more recently, bio, both nature-made and man-made modern threats. My current job is CEO and CTO of Safely to Prosperity. We are an infectious disease risk management company. And prior to that, employers included Lockheed Martin, L'Oreal, and IBM, and I also ran my own cyber IT consulting firm. So all these threat vector areas, air, land, sea, space, cyber, and bio, have a similar pattern. They're bad actors, there's the evolving threats, and then there's the attack surface. Specific to cyber, you have insider threats, nation states, cybercrime, activists, cyber terrorists, industrialized hackers, to name a few. The threats are either general threats or mission unique, and maybe a financial or a manufacturing threat. There's evolving areas such as quantum attacks, and traditional protection methods will not protect against that, as well as an increase in application programming interfaces attacks. Not so much going after the system itself, but for the APIs around it. Then, of course, you got the supply chain and physical security. And then you have the attack surface. Traditionally, going back 20 years when I was heavy in cyber, I had to worry about the data layer, the server layer, web applications, email, other related corporate applications. But today, with the Internet of Everything, you have mobility, cloud computing, virtualization, wearable devices, embedded chips. So the attack surface has exploded. So the same concept of bad actors, threats, and emergent attack surface applies both to traditional warfighter domains as well as bio or bioterrorism related. For example, in the warfighter domain, typical attack would be a reconnaissance phase followed by weaponization, then delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, and then action on objectives. And in order to defend that, you would have tools and processes and best practices to detect, deny, cheat, degrade, and deceive. Those other processes. Now, some other interesting areas of importance in cyber, mutual assets, I may want to point out here, is Google, Verizon, and CrowdStrike have published excellent articles in 2023 on threat vectors. There's a 31-page Threat Horizons report from Google, a 89-page Data Breach Investigations report from Verizon, and a 42-page Global Threat Report from CrowdStrike. I encourage you to check those out on the internet. And cloud misconfiguration is also a common issue. Foog and Sonotype recently surveyed 300 cloud professionals and have published an interesting report on the nature and scale of cloud misconfiguration. And it's a very, very useful article, so I encourage you to check into that. And Gartner cites through 2023, at least 99% of cloud security failures will be the customer's fault, not AWS, not Azure, not Google. So this is an important area. Quantum attacks, as I mentioned earlier, are on the rise. Traditional standard public key cryptography will not be able to withstand quantum-based computing attacks. And companies like Google, Apple, and Microsoft are addressing this. Google announced the first open source quantum resilient security key implementation called FIDO. I encourage you to get familiar with that, because quantum resilient FIDO security implementations will be vital towards ensuring the safety and security as the advent of quantum computing approaches. Now, shifting over to S2P briefly. S2P is an infectious disease risk management system. So we have medical information, PII. Data protection is very important to us. We operate in the commercial cloud space with a robust data architectures using MongoDB. We will be pursuing FedRAMP, Authority to Operate, certification in first quarter 2024, so we can also serve the public sector. Currently, we're focused on the private. All our instances are in secure operating centers with SOC 2 reports. We're heavily focused on international privacy and data localization regulations, currently operating in U.S. and India, and will soon expand it to Japan and others. We take cloud posture management very seriously, as well as API secure programming standards. We also have endpoint detection and response, next-gen antivirus, MFA, advanced phishing, malware protection, vulnerability management, and we encrypt our backups. And even with all that, we still carry cyber and professional liability coverage. We're also heavily involved in influencing education in this space as well. We're partnered with Capital Technology University, where I used to hold the chairman of the board position from 2018 through 2022. We have joint members on both the university board and the S2P board. We do podcasts and webinars together, and we're developing educational pathways. And we recently stood up a PhD in emergency and protective services with them, and have authored 10 dissertation topics. And these topics use techniques both from the warfighter domain as well as the cyber domain, but applied to pandemics. An example is applying the cybersecurity kill chain methodology to pandemic scenarios. Now, the actual pandemic, endemic threat vector specific, we just got through COVID, it's still lingering on. The CDC director recently warned of the coming triple-demic. It's a collision of RSV, the flu, and COVID-19. It's going to overwhelm hospitals this fall. The administration has warned due to this triple endemic, the caseload are expected to exceed 100 million for the second half of 2023, and that will surpass the combined cases for the entire COVID period prior to June of this year. There's also enhanced discussions between NATO nations regarding the bioterrorism threat vector. And today, more than 1 billion people are at risk because of the battle between globalization and nature. In countries like West Africa, Southeast Asia, and South America, humans are very close to nature and animals. Now, S2P, we have an infectious disease risk management solution. It's a SaaS cloud-based solution. It's HIPAA compliant. It supports multi-diseases and multi-locations. It automates the screening, testing, vaccinations, precautions, exposure, tracking, and travel monitoring. It's very robust in alarm and alerting, and impressive management reporting. And we believe it's the right approach for corporations to take to better prepare their company for future COVID-like scenarios. We're focused on manufacturers, universities, call centers, public health, government, hospital systems, nursing homes, three-letter agencies, military bases, and the tourism industry. And we're really focused on decreasing workforce attrition and vacancy rates. So I would encourage you to check out our website. It's www.safely, spelled out the number 2, prosperity.com. You'll see some great examples of recent awards that we got. Our announcement that was featured on the cover of Forbes in August, and several other assets regarding the system capabilities and where you should request a demo. So again, I appreciate your time today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week.
Yeah.